Hello and welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be talking about why my guide dog got retired early, what went wrong. A lot of people aren't aware of how expensive the guide dog training process actually is, and because it's not government funded, they have to pull in money from sponsorships and other things like that. Here in New Zealand, the guide dog school has the Red Puppy Appeal, which is how they get their money for sponsorships. You sponsor a guide dog puppy until it grows up, becomes a guide dog, and goes to a handler. And I think that that's really cool. And that's like something that New Zealand does, but other schools have different things that they do depending on the country to pull in their money to pay for the dogs and to pay for their training to become a guide dog. So the whole training process for a guide dog is not only really expensive, but it also takes a lot of work, and that's why some dogs sometimes don't even make it past their training, and some dogs do but still get retired early. Now, when I went to get my guide dog, I was 18 years old. The purpose of me getting a guide dog is because I have no lower vision, and for me, having a guide dog helps me to walk faster and be more engaged in my surroundings and just enjoy life more. If I have a guide dog, I can walk places faster and I can just kind of get on with my day. A guide dog can also help me to be motivated to do the things that I want to do, because if you're carrying around a cane, the cane isn't going to motivate you. It's just an object. A dog is a living, breathing creature that you look after and you keep safe. It's like having your own little baby that you have to take care of, but it also takes care of you and helps you and makes sure that you don't get into trouble or dangerous situations. So depending on the country that you live in and the guide dog school that you get your dog from, they may have different rules about how old you can be when you get your dog. Some schools will allow you to get your guide dog when you're still in school, but for the most part, the majority of them won't let you get a dog until you're over 18. So the guide dog matching process usually works by you, the handler, going to the guide dog school and working with a bunch of different dogs, and the people at the school will see how you get on with those different dogs, and at the end of the course, whether it's a month or a couple of weeks, they will be like, okay, I think you work best with this dog, and they will match you with the dog that they think works best with your personality and your walking speed and a bunch of different things like that. But some schools will allow you to pick your dog, but for the most part, most of them will pre-match you with the dog that they think works best with you. I actually didn't go to a school to get my training. I actually had someone come to my house and I worked with a bunch of different dogs, and they pre-matched me based on my speed and my personality and how I clicked with a dog. So they just watched me with a bunch of different dogs, and then they chose Minnie for me based on their information that they had. And so I got matched with her. They brought her to my house. I worked with her for about 6 weeks, and then I had to decide whether or not I thought it worked well, and I actually didn't. I actually really cried about it because I felt like she was really slow. I felt like we didn't connect properly. We had very similar personalities, which I actually thought was kind of a bad thing. I didn't really know exactly what it was, but I thought something's not right about this dog, and I couldn't really put my finger on what it was. So I continued to work with her anyway. I was going to give her back, but I ended up just going with it and trying to kind of see if we would eventually click. And I was going to MIT at the time, but I was also going to the gym as well and other places, so I would just take her with me when I was going to those places, and it worked quite well for a while. Like, she was very interested in those new places and getting out there and doing all of the different stuff with me. But after a while, she just really started to lose interest in what she was doing. Everything got worse once I stopped going to uni. Now, I stopped going for personal reasons, but I think all of that just made it worse because she really didn't like her job. She was kind of interested in it at the beginning, but the more things that she did, the less interested she got. She would purposely walk slow, and she already had a very slow-paced walk, and she would just purposely walk slow because she just had lost so much interest in doing her job. And even though I would try to motivate her, it just didn't work. So eventually I was like, I think maybe she needs to be retired, and if not, she needs to work with someone who can really motivate her and be super strict with her, because that's not my personality. I am very laid back and chilled, just like her. And like I said, I think I needed a dog that was more motivating, that would actually motivate me rather than me having to motivate her. And I just kind of got a bit upset about this whole process, because I was so excited to have a guide dog, and then to have one that had so little interest in the job that it needed to do just kind of hurt. And I kind of was a little bit afraid to get another guide dog, and I still am a little bit nervous about getting another guide dog, because I don't want another dog that's going to lose interest after like a year of working. And you know, that whole process is kind of scary, because I don't know what'll happen the next time. She just kind of lost interest in what she needed to do, and then once I stopped going to uni and we weren't going to places as much, and she got to see how fun it was to be a dog, that was kind of it for her, and she just sort of lost interest completely, and she needed a lot of retraining, which I tried to do with her, and it didn't really work out. So I had her for over 2 years, and then the guide dog school gave her to someone else, and she was with them for 6 months. I don't know what happened, but afterwards they just retired her, and they asked me if I wanted her back. I said yes, and ever since then she's been my pet. I got her back as a pet at 4 years old, which is actually the same amount of time that our pet Niles that we had when I was younger. He was a retired guide dog who got retired at 4 years old. He had similar issues. We ended up getting him when he was nearly 5, and he died when he was 13, but he was also a lovely, very friendly, nice dog. And I think that it's really sad that some guide dogs do have to sadly get retired earlier than they should. But if a dog is not interested in its job, it doesn't want to do it, it lost interest and it's not motivated, then there's no point in trying to make it do the job that it doesn't want to do. So I totally get that, and I'm just sad that it didn't work out. But that is my guide dog story, why my guide dog got retired early, what went wrong. Basically, she just lost interest in the job she had to do. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you did, then smash it a big thumbs up. Share this video with your friends if you'd like to. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and ring the bell to be notified every time I upload new videos. And I will see you in my next video. Bye!